You can't get my mama, she ain't gonna even cook with that water, you know. It's bad enough, she said, have to bathe with it, but to cook with it, she would not do it. And I'm the same way now. I'm on board, you know. We do distilled water, spring water, all that. But a lot of folks around here in the neighborhood do the same thing.
3M has faced multiple lawsuits over PFAS contaminated water in North Alabama.
Most of the North Alabama lawsuits have been settled, including a case involving an estimated 4,900 residents in Lawrence and Morgan counties. But there have been issues with that settlement. News 19's chief investigative reporter Brian Lawson joins us now with more. Brian.
Right. News 19 has spent the past year trying to understand what happened in the Billings versus WMEL and 3M case. It was not a class action settlement, meaning there's no judge or third party supervising settlement payments from the lawyers to their clients. And we've received multiple complaints from residents who tell us they didn't get paid or people they helped sign up never got a check.
It's the principle. It ain't the money. To me, it ain't the money, it's the principle. You taking from me. You taking from my family.
Lawrence County residents were warned about their drinking water in 2016 by their water provider.
Do not drink our water.
That announcement attracted lawyers to North Alabama, including to the small town of Cortland. Pastor Tommy Davis was approached by lawyers from Anniston-based Stewart & Stewart to help recruit plaintiffs for a lawsuit. People who for years had been drinking water contaminated with PFAS. He agreed.
People drank the water. It's proven that it was poison, and I felt like they should get paid.
In early 2022, the lawyers said there was a settlement with 3M. Residents said the offer was $3,500 if they were a water customer, $1,000 if a property owner. The settlement meetings were at Davis's church.
There were so many people, they were on the parking lot. It was they had to call the police. It was traffic jam.
Area resident Rhonda Hughes said she was part of a small group the lawyers enlisted to get settlement signups. They worked hard, signing up people from a 188-page list of names.
Now this is probably half the stack. We were told we had 2 weeks to get all these names, all these people located in the form signed. And then they never did give us an end date. They just kept telling us to keep going, to keep going, to keep going until probably end March, 1st of April, they just let us go.
The signed forms went to the lawyers. Hughes said there were no copies.
Initially, everybody was excited because people started getting paid, but as time went on, people got a little disappointed because some got paid and some did not.
Martha Hughes has records, but
I have my letter here that I received concerning the lawsuit, and I had to attend a meeting at the Wheeler Chapel Church. I attended that meeting and signed all forms that was requested, and so far I have not gotten any answers or any money or any checks or nobody to notify me about anything.
Months after the lawsuit was settled, Daisy Harris was still trying to make sense of it all.
My husband received the money. My son, one son, I have another son, received the money. I have not received the money. I've called, I've texted, I've faxed, I've done everything. They've always told me that they're going to call me back, and I've never received a phone call from Stewart & Stewart back.
Donnie Newman remembers signing up for the settlement.
Told I was qualified for it and all that, and Stewart & Stewart had the case, and I called them multiple times trying to get my money and stuff, and they ain't doing nothing about it. They got my address, they got my phone number, because every time I call them, they repeat it to me.
Charles Golston signed up people in Morgan and Lawrence counties. He said the signed forms went to the lawyers. After wondering for months why the people he signed up didn't get paid, he got a call last August from a Stewart & Stewart lawyer.
He says, I just received all of your forms. And he says, somewhere between point A, which was Wheeler Chapel, and point B, which was his office he was referring to, he says, somewhere between those points, they got missing, but I have them now.
But those payments didn't come either. News 19 reached out to Stewart & Stewart. We called them in December and January and February, leaving messages each time.
Neither one of the Stewarts are in the office. They are both in court today. But Mr. Lawson, I'll be glad to leave a message for him that you called.
We sent multiple emails and texts, no response. Finally, Attorney Taylor Stewart told me in February he wouldn't talk to me. So in mid-February, we went to them. Hey, I'm Brian Lawson. I'm with WHNT. I've called a few times hoping to catch either Taylor Stewart or Donald Stewart.
Right.
I haven't had any success doing that. I don't know if they were around today.
No, they are in depositions in Birmingham.
Okay. I wondered if I could leave this for Taylor, if either way, but wanted to go ahead and drop that off, let him know that I came by. If there's a time that's convenient to talk, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Otherwise, if they can take a look at those questions and try to put some answers together, we'd certainly appreciate that as well. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
News 19 got no response to that visit. Daisy Harris was not satisfied.
I've talked to the good master. I'm going to get my money. It's my money.
In February, Harris filed a small claims action for her settlement check. She got paid. 4 months later, an odd thing happened. Charles Golston said he got 10 checks in the mail for people he'd signed up. Donnie Newman got paid. And Pastor Davis got word more checks were coming.
Several of the people that did not get paid originally have received checks, and I did hear from the law firm there that about 200 applications plus have been found that they thought were lost, and that more people will be getting checks.
So why are checks trickling out now? We called, emailed, and texted Stewart and Stewart again last week. No answer.
So I certainly could use the money. I'm on a fixed income, I'm a widow, and I need the money for different things, but I have very little hope of getting it because of the way they have done, and I think that is their point of why they're dragging this out, so that we will lose hope.
Pastor Davis has heard plenty of promises surrounding this lawsuit.
I guess I got faith, but that's all I have, because I can't make them do it. But I was told that it would happen. But it would be disappointing if it didn't. And a lot of people would be disappointed.
Charles Golston estimates he signed up about 500 people overall. He thinks about 100 got paid. Then he spoke to attorney Donald Stewart last month.
He told me that they had about ran out of money, and that was a good possibility that there weren't going to be any more checks mailed out.
Now, clearly checks are sent out to a number of residents in this case. What's still not clear is how many people who expected a payment didn't get one. 3M, meanwhile, agreed in June to pay up to $12.5 billion to settle PFAS claims around the country.